welcome to another Flaming Dice Reviews video. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be taking a look at Firefly Shiny Dice by Upper Deck. We're going to take just a little bit of a peek at how the game plays, look at the components that come inside of the box, and then I'll meet you back here for my final thoughts. We're going to briefly talk about what comes inside of Firefly Shiny Dice, and the first thing you'll notice are these player mats. And I say these player mats because the game came with 2 of them, which is extremely cool. Now these represent areas of the board where dice are available, dice are used or KO'd, held hostage, etc. If you've played Dice Masters, you'll recognize the setup of the dice as far as ones that are available inside of Serenity, ones that have been used, etc. Now another thing that comes with the game are victory points in the form of credits, and the artwork is very nice, very pretty on these cards. The game also comes with supply crates in 1s, 2s, and 3s, and these crates are used at the end of the game and converted into victory points. However, through gameplay they are scored a little bit differently. The last type of card that comes in the game are mission cards, and you'll recognize that these are stills from the show, so that's really cool. But the neatest thing about Shiny Dice are the dice themselves. Now if you look at the dice, you'll notice that each one has a different emblem on the different sides. For the black faux dice, which represent the enemies you'll fight, you'll notice the hat that Badger wears, Saffron's lips, and Nishka's glasses. For the crew dice, you'll notice Shepherd Book, River, Simon, Anara, supply symbol, which goes hand in hand with those supply cards and are one of Badger's mechanics. And then for the hero dice, you have Jane's cunning hat, you have Zoe's mare leg, you have Mal's pistol. Mal's pistol. You have Kaylee's strawberry, you have Wash's dinosaur, and I believe that's all of them. We're going to very, very briefly go over gameplay in Shiny Dice, and I mean very briefly. So on a player's turn, they take their 15 dice and they roll them. The foes are put in their proper area, and then the other dice are placed in Serenity, minus the cargo. And if there's Badger dice, Badger takes these cargo hostage until you beat him. Now the different dice have different abilities. For example, Wash lets you re-roll up to 1 other crew dice in addition to his own. Now Nishka automatically KOs a hero. Saffron takes heroes hostage in the cargo hold, and as mentioned, Badger takes the cargo that you roll hostage. Now you can use certain dice like Mal's pistol or Jane to KO or to defeat these foes. Now once these foes are defeated, the dice that you've used or that were previously defeated go into the KO section. Other dice get scored, like the cargo, and then one gets to choose whether or not the dice remaining after these dice are KO'd, can you defeat the 5 foes again? So what you would do is you would take the rest of the dice, re-roll them, and start over. And you'd press your luck in this manner and try to defeat the foes again. Now if it takes you 3 dice to do that, you can decide, can I beat the foes again with just these 4 remaining good dice? So in that way it's a press your luck, sort of like zombie dice. However, it is made a little bit more complicated by the mission cards, which I thoroughly dislike. And that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. Players repeat this action. They go around in turns. At the end of the game, the cargo that you've scored is converted into victory points. The victory points that you've scored in denominations of 100 and 500 are also tallied, And one more thing worth mentioning, and this is another component of the game, are the player screens, which we really didn't use them that much, but they're set up to hide a player's victory points so that they're secret. Now there is a little bit more to the game, of course, but that's just a taste of it. Welcome back, everybody. Now that we've seen what comes inside of Firefly Shiny Dice, let's talk about my final thoughts and how the game measured up against other dice rolling games and Firefly games in general. Now, some of the things that I disliked about Firefly Shiny Dice, for one, the theme is a little bit lacking. I know there's a lot of Firefly references in it, there's a lot of great artwork, and even the mission cards have steals from the show. But the theme really could have been anything, so it wasn't as deep as, say, Firefly the game, which is just off the charts in theme. Another thing that I didn't like were the mission cards, and the rules were a little bit unclear on the mission cards. Matter of fact, a lot of things were a little bit unclear in the rules. That is another thing I disliked about the game. But the mission cards, I never could quite figure out if the missions, once you drew them, were optional, which they are, or if drawing them at all was optional. Either way, the missions seemed like a last-minute addition to the game, and I thoroughly disliked them. They've helped me maybe one time. I literally think I've completed 1 or 2 missions, and I think they helped me once. Most of the time, it's just a hindrance. So it'll end your turn, it'll do all kinds of nasty things, and that's pretty much it. Yet they say they're optional. But they have keywords at the bottom that will end your turn. You lose that press your luck mechanic that is central to Shiny Dice. So the missions, don't like them. Now, some of the things that I do like about Firefly Shiny Dice, for one, component quality is through the roof. The dice are beautiful. The art on the cards, both drawn and stills from the show, are just fantastic. I loved them thoroughly. The game comes with 2 player mats. It didn't have to do that. It could have just included 1, but there's 2. That's phenomenal. Again, the artwork's great, and it's always great just to get into the get it back into the verse for a little bit. So the game is not without merits. That's to be sure. And at the price point, depending on where you get it online or at a retailer, it could be between, I believe it was $20 and $30, so it's not horrible. The game, when I ran it through the Flaming Dice Review scoring system, scored an 82 out of 100, which is a very decent score, a little bit below average, but still not a bad game. I recommend it if you are a huge Firefly fan and just have to buy anything that has the word Firefly on it. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, share it on your Facebook, like us on Facebook, and visit the website at www.flamingdicereviews.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. The sad fact of the matter is that some people will buy anything that says Firefly on it.